The Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum in New York belongs to the foundation with the same name. It was built by Frank Lloyd Wright in 1959. It is considered to be one of the most representative constructions of the 20th century. The Guggenheim is a permanent home of a very important collection of Impressionist and Post-Impressionist works, as well as early modern art and contemporary art. In it, we can find artworks from artists such as Konstantin Brancusi, Vasily Kandinsky, Pablo Picasso, Camille Pissarro, Jackson Pollock, Renoir, between many others. Hilma af Klint was born in Stockholm in 1862. She was an academy-educated painter. She was influenced by scientific discoveries and spiritual movements that rose in her era. She began creating radically abstract paintings in 1906. This was years before Vasily Kandinsky, Kazimir Malevich, Piet Mondrian, and others. While many of her well-known contemporaries published their work on manifestos and exhibited their pieces internationally, af Klint kept her paintings private and asked them not to be shown but 20 years after her death. Klint was mostly influenced by Spiritism as she explored many realms of spiritualism. She belonged to a group of open-minded women who called themselves the Five. Klint was informed by spiritual guides that she would be asked to complete a task. She used to call it the Great Commission. The first group of paintings was called Primordial Chaos. These incorporate forms that come from scientific illustrations related to cosmic, microscopic, atomic, and esoteric diagrams. She begins to develop a symbolic language from which we can recognize the caracals from the beginning. This represents a symbol of continual growth. The spiral is found in the snail's shell. Theosophy was a central idea, a spiritual movement that was inspiring for af Klint as much as for other abstract artists such as Kandinsky and Mondrian. According to Theosophy, evolution extended beyond biology. This theme inspired the paintings for the temple. The temple was supposed to be a construction in shape of a spiral, just like the structure of the Guggenheim Museum, which, by the way, was also conceived as a temple of the spirit. In 1908, her style shifted. She emphasized the use of geometric forms and some religious iconography, while loose lines appeared less frequently. In the artist's symbolic vocabulary, blue represents women and yellow stands for men. For her, these two colors represent duality, but green is their harmonious union. af Klint followed a color theory in her painting. It is believed that she could have been following Johann Wolfgang von Goethe's theory of color, where colors are made by a mixture of light and shadow. He suggested that colors could be associated with human qualities, and Klint often represented a whole spectrum of them. af Klint was bravely one of the first artists to develop a skill to express abstract concepts. Her artworks go beyond what the eyes can see. It is amazing that she developed it in such an early stage, and that she could comprehend the complexity of it and recognize it in the future. One day we would be ready to appreciate her vision of the world. The visit to the Guggenheim Museum was very rewarding. I got amazed by the Hilma af Klint's exhibition, which, in my opinion, it is meant to be in the Guggenheim. The architecture of this museum makes it different from any other. Together they construct the perfect atmosphere. It is a real temple of the spirit.